EA Sports.
This is Funkmaster Flex, and it's time to separate the men from the boys. This is the one y'all been waiting for.
You ready to street fight? You want to street fight? Come on. You ready? Come on, go get it.
This is what it's all about, people. I'm saying it's time for Def Jam.
Hey, yo, Red. Yeah, what up? You see what I see? Yeah, I see what you see. I see a fool who about to get his ass kicked.
Hey, yo, this is DMX. Keith Murray. Dead Arm Nori.
What's up, it's Christina Milian.
What's up, baby? It's your boy Face Mob in the house.
Ashy Knuckles Capone. Tony Starks, Ghostface Killer.
Funk Flex, Philip C. to get a hug.
What's up? This is Ludacris.
Batman, baby.
Check me out. Check me out.
Check me out.
Check me out.
Check this out, man.
Nobody ever beats me.
It's about to go down.
And now, introducing the hottest new tag team in podcasting, George Feast, Johnny Clash, the Game Marks.
Welcome to the Game Marks Podcast. My name is George Feast, and I, as always, am here with my tag team partner, independent wrestler Johnny Clash.
Hello there.
Each week on this podcast, we break down the good, the bad, and the awesome of wrestling video games and give our rating of Play It Forever or Future Endeavor.
You're fired!
This week on the podcast, we are playing Def Jam Vendetta. But before we get into that, a little follow-up from last week.
So, last week we played Survivor Series on the Game Boy Advance.
Yes, we did.
Did you give any thought to this game throughout the week? Did anyone give you any feedback?
So my feelings on the game still stand the same. I think it's great for a Game Boy Advance. It's something that I wish that I had as a kid. It was fun. I had a good time. Definitely is better than a lot of the other mobile games that I've played.
Mobile
or
okay.
Portable.
Pinky's out. Mobile.
I hate you.
Do you say
much.
Target also?
No, I wait for the I wait for the R to be burned out, and then I go to Target.
Okay, I could deal with that, but there's two women next to me at work. I went to Target, and they say it so seriously, and I just cringe every time.
There's
okay,
two
sorry.
women.
There's two women?
There's two women that sit next to me at work.
These two women?
What about you? Any interaction on the social media? Any feedback? Any backlash from your review of Survivor Series for the Game Boy?
No, I think mostly people said that, I had that game. It was fun. Like, no one actually bashed the game for what it was, because I think for the time, it's all you had.
Yeah.
And personally, when I went and listened back to our episode and I heard your beautiful rendition of Christian's entrance theme, I went back and I listened to the compilation of all the entrance themes while I was on the treadmill at the gym. And like we said, there's just something about those 8-bit MIDI entrance songs that just gets us going.
Oh yeah, it's like nostalgia, but like a current spin on nostalgia, if that makes sense.
Yeah, now I don't know about you, but there used to be this program back in the day that you could download MIDI songs and then you could mess around with them, change them up a bit. It was a free program. It was pretty crappy, but I used to take like wrestling songs and even like Nirvana songs, and I would just strip away everything but the drums and the bass, and then I would play the guitar over it. Did you ever do anything like that?
That is oddly specific. I never played with like digital music when I was a kid. Like I've been a drummer since I was like 13 years old, but I never got into like playing around with like MIDI tracks and stuff like that, just because, I mean, we didn't get a computer until I was like 15 or 16, so I was already like hard into being in like a band and doing my like little 16-year-old band practices and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, you're not with the band 24/7, so sometimes you gotta just play to the drum track coming out of your computer.
Okay, so there's like a big difference between playing guitar and playing drums in a home.
Yes, correct.
You can somewhat control the volume of a guitar. There's no, like, unless I got a practice pad set, which there was no way I was getting, and there's just you just hitting rubber. Yeah, I wasn't playing drums at all hours of the night. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's our take on Survivor Series for the Game Boy Advance. And like always, if you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy what you hear, please leave us a review. Leave us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And even if you don't like us, you can still leave us 5 stars.
There's no such thing as bad criticism for this podcast. We want to grow. We want to get better. We want to know what you guys think. So, like John said, please head over to iTunes and let us know what you think of this podcast, what we can do to make it better. What we can do.
Or tweet us at GameMarksPod. We're very interactive. We're looking at it all day, answering whatever. So hit us up.
Yeah. All right. So I say we jump right into the question of the week. What do you say?
Oh, all right. But before we get started, the question of the week is sponsored by Galvanized Grips.
Galvanized Grips sells customized controller grips, skins, and other cool items to enhance your gaming experience. Their grips fit on PS4 and Xbox One controllers and come in a variety of different colors and patterns to match your gaming style. Check out their shop at galvanizedgrips.com and use code GameMarks at checkout to receive 10% off. That's galvanizedgrips.com and use code GAMEMARKS to save 10% on checkout. Oh, man. Those grips, let's talk about them really quick. We've had these now for several weeks. You still love them?
I still love them. Do you still love them?
I still love them. They're great.
And you have a chance to get your own pair by just donating to the Game Marks Podcast Gameboree. All you have to do,
$1.
As little as $1 will enter you to win the prizes shown on GameMarksPod.com/donate. So check it out.
So my question this week is a twist on a question that we've kind of asked before. So I believe you asked the question of if we could take any game and combine it with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the Mario Kart. We talked about the
GTA.
We talked about the tabletop hockey.
Yeah.
So my question now is, the game that we're playing today kind of mixes a little different forms of media, but turns it into a wrestling game. So if you could take any other kind of IP, whether it's, you want to do Star Wars, you want to take Pokemon, you want to take, actually those two already kind of exist. You want to take, you want to take NHL, but make it only the fights of NHL. You want to do NBA, or you want to do any other sport or anything else and turn it into a Def Jam Vendetta style fighting game.
Okay, I got one. I got one that I didn't even really have to think about because it's kind of something I just always wanted. So I'll start by saying, when I was little, do you remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
I do.
I had a different version of that, and it was Raphael and Shredder.
Ooh.
Now, yeah, you see where I'm going with this?
Okay.
A TMNT wrestling game. But I don't want it like The Simpsons wrestling. I don't want it cheesy and corny. I think to have it like Def Jam, where you're like, you have a sewer map.
So you want like an updated
streets
version
of New York.
You want an updated version of Tournament Fighters,
but wrestling.
Yeah, but TMNT has a game. I had it as a kid for Super Nintendo, and it was like you could play as the big baddies from the cartoon, and you could play as the Turtles. You could play as Splinter or Shredder, but it was like a Street Fighter-esque game. Yeah, but you're saying like you want to take that.
Oh, I want ring ropes. I want
and make it like a ring with a crowd, and like everything's themed Turtles.
Yes, I want Splinter as the referee.
I could see that,
and a playable character actually.
April O'Neil's in the crowd.
Yes, she could come out and hit people with chairs, and I think that would be cool.
I would only play as one person in this game.
Who?
I would only play as Casey Jones.
I knew you were going to say that.
How is he not your favorite?
He is. He's everyone's favorite, but come on. Leonardo, bro.
Side question. Favorite turtle?
Leonardo.
Oh, I'm a Donatello guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very Donatello-like.
I feel like I don't know if I am insulted or not.
No, that's
I don't know how to take that.
There's no bad turtle, so.
I see you're a Raph to me.
Am I? Am I cool but crude?
I mean, do you listen to this podcast?
I don't know about the cool part.
It's your whole wrestling gimmick, man.
That's true. Going back to the Tournament Fighter, I actually had a version for Sega that was Power Rangers, and I don't know if you ever played this one, but you would go through kind of like 2 or 3 rounds, and then you'd get to the boss, and you would turn into the Megazord, and you would face like the big Goldar, and then there would be a cutscene. Oh man, that was the best.
Those were great. I miss those
yeah,
good classic fighter style
like Tommy would pop up as the Green Ranger and play his the dagger. I forgot what it was called. And the Dragon Zord would pop up.
No, the dagger, Saba.
Saba was the White Ranger.
Yeah, I don't think the Dragon Dagger had a name.
Might just be Dragon Dagger.
I think it was just called like the Green Ranger Dragon Dagger or whatever. But Saba was the white for the Tiger Zord.
Yeah, Green Dragon Dagger, says Target.com.
So, that was the question of the week, and as always, we like to extend that question over to you guys. Please let us know what you would turn into a wrestling-style video game like Def Jam Vendetta on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What else am I forgetting? You could reach out to us pretty much anywhere. Text John. If you're Brian G, text John.
Send smoke signals, I don't know. Hey, also, if you have an idea for a question of the week that you would like us to ask each other, hit us up. Let us know.
Oh, yeah,
we're always
absolutely
up for some ideas.
And, hey, you never know. If we pick your question, you may get something special.
So, Georgie, what do you say we get into the hashtag deep dive?
Let's do it. This week, the deep dive is sponsored by Creator Pro Wrestling.
December 20th, Creator Pro Wrestling returns to Hicksville, New York, featuring the Cap Champion, VSK, the Cap TV Champion, Chris Statlander, Bear Country, CPA, Alex Reynolds, and of course, yours truly, one half of the Cap Tag Team Champions. All of this and so much more, so don't miss out. Tickets are flying fast, so head over to creativeprowrestling.com and get yours today.
Santa's mother slay.
And tickets are only $20. So if you're in the area, you want to see good wrestling, this isn't going to be no 3-4 hour show. We get to the point. We have good matches. You've seen our guys on Raw every week getting squashed by the Viking Raiders. We have our guys, homegrown talent all over AEW every week. So come check us out. You never know who you're going to see that's going to be on TV next.
And hey, I may even be there. And if you see me and Clash, come up to us and say hi.
Let us know what you think. Slap us in the face. Tell me my Fire Pro review was terrible.
Do not slap me in the face for John's Fire Pro review. I would like that to be made very clear. I will not die on the sword for your review of Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I still stand by it, so.
All right, so this week's game is Def Jam Vendetta, developed by, say it with me, John, A-K-I. Whatever. Published by EA Sports Big.
EA Sports Big. Now, what's the difference between that and just EA Sports?
So, EA Sports Big was like where you got your...
Tried to get a little edgy?
Over-the-top, cartoonish almost style games. I mean, the NFL Street games come to mind. The SSX series. I mean, but there's a lot of them. Do you want to run through the quick short list we have of the EA Sports Big series?
Yeah, so it's Def Jam Vendetta, FIFA Street, all the way through 2005. Freak Style. Do you remember Freak Style at all?
The name sounds familiar. Is it?
It was kind of like freestyle motocross, like on tracks. kind of like a Tony Hawk.
Yeah. I do remember that, actually.
Yeah. It was NBA Street, Home Court, Showdown, Volume 3, Volume 2, the whole thing. And then NFL Street, Volume 2, 3, NFL Tour, Shocks, Sled Storm, SSX, all the way up to Tricky. We all remember those commercials from Monday Night Raw.
Oh, God. Those and Skittles are the two most...
not Lugs and Stacker 2?
Oh, or Castrol GTX?
Yes. Dial Down the Center?
10, 220?
Carrot Top, remember those?
Oh, God, no. That'll be the one and only Carrot Top reference on this podcast. All right. Def Jam Vendetta. Let's get back to it. The release date. Not a joke. April 1st, 2003. Came out on the PS2 and the GameCube. Now, this is the first pro wrestling game by EA since Backstage Assault.
Oh, and we already know how that one ended up.
Yeah, but, that's coming up on our calendar, so we're going to have to talk about it pretty soon.
Next week, featuring the abominable CPA, a.k.a. 205 Live superstar Tim Gange.
Ooh. Kind of want you to do... Maybe when we have him on, we will announce him as the 205 superstar.
Only if you do it like that with more enthusiasm.
I mean, it's 11:30. I'm trying not to wake my wife right now, but yes, I will do it with more enthusiasm when we record with the world famous Tim Gange. So this game features a largely unmodified Aki Engine, which was used in the virtual pro wrestling games, and it's a spin-off with some minor button mashing elements added to make it have more of an arcade feel and less of like a wrestling simulator.
Yeah, so what they mean is if there's a pin or if there is a submission, a meter actually comes up and you button mash. It says tap any button and the meter goes to the end, and that's when you kick out or break the hold, which I think it's a good feature to actually see like how much you have left in the tank. Yeah, but I do feel like the gauge was actually too long, if that makes sense. Like you held moves like a little way too long there.
Yeah, and this new button mash style gave you a fair shot at a pin.
Right, and I don't know if you noticed while we were playing, but also above that, it came up with, say you were in a figure 4, it would come up with leg strength, and it would show you how much your leg has left before I guess you'll tap out.
Yeah, I would assume that combined with your health or spirit meter is all factors into your submission. We actually didn't get to do a submission through our playthrough, but I would imagine that it works mostly like that. I've never been a big submission person in wrestling games. I've always just been the, hit him with every grapple and off the top rope and all that other stuff, and never really been,
Oh, I couldn't tell. Go on.
So this game, which we loved, plays very similarly to WWF No Mercy, and features a lengthy story mode that allows you to level up and enhance one of 4 characters in your quest to become the most well-known star in the Urban Fighting League, and fight the undefeated underground boss, and his name is D-Mob.
D-Mob. So let's get into the artwork of this game.
Okay.
I feel like this is one of the more iconic covers of a game from the 2000s. You immediately know what it is just from glancing at it, and it's one of those that when you think back to it, you remember exactly what it looks like.
Absolutely. I pictured this as soon as we were talking about last week, announcing that we were playing it this week. This image immediately went into my head. It's that almost, I don't know how to describe it. Would you say it's almost a little like Vice City-esque artwork?
Yes, definitely kind of a little bit of Into the Spider-Verse-y.
Yeah, but which we actually, from the graphics world, it kind of also just looks like they took a picture and hit the live trace button.
Yes. Yes.
But, okay. I just
Story of my life.
That you were there with me. Yeah. So the artwork's great. It very limited color palette creates this beautiful, beautiful image. The title stands out great. You know it's a wrestling game. You know it's a fighting game. It lists the big names on the cover like DMX, Ludacris, Method Man, Nori, Redman. And I don't know. It's just, you see this and you're immediately just sucked in. Like, I saw this as a kid and I wanted to know what this was.
Yeah, I actually got this one a little bit later because I had an Xbox at first. And this only came out on GameCube and PS2. And later when I got the GameCube, I actually had it for that.
So around the time that this came out, I actually worked at GameStop.
Oh.
So I was able to scoop this up.
I actually didn't know you worked at GameStop.
I did. I worked at GameStop for a couple of years.
I never knew that. Good to know on a Game Marks podcast.
Yeah. It never came up, so...
I actually had a friend who was fired from working at GameStop because when the Wiis came out and they were so like hard to find and everyone wanted them, he put a stack of them out on the showroom floor and he took a nap on them.
I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to repeat that.
Yeah, he took a nap on a stack of Wiis, and I'm pretty sure he posted a picture of it too. You know what? I'm gonna message him right now and see if he has that.
Well, keep an eye out because that that picture may be posted on our social media. So on the back of this box art, you have 5 pictures, couple headlines, cinematic story mode, over 40 street brawlers, battle to the top with over 1,500 moves, and the hottest Def Jam artists and music. This does a good job of painting a picture of exactly what you're going to get. It's over the top. It's borderline cartoonish graphics with... I feel like we need a better word. It's not cartoonish. It's over-exaggerated.
Yeah, a little over-exaggerated.
Yeah, it's like exaggerated features. Just everyone looks way bigger. Like... WC looks like he's actually like a refrigerator. Like, it's insane. He's huge.
Yeah, he wrestled like one too, because that was my choice.
I mean, it's like a tank.
Yeah.
If you really want to get a good feel for the game and you don't have the time to play it, we post on our Instagram, on our Facebook, on our Twitter, the intro and the commercials to the game so that you guys can really get prepared for when the episode drops. You know exactly what we're playing. You know exactly what to expect for that episode.
And also the commercial for this game was pretty sick. It opens with like a street view of New York City, and then X Gon Give It To You starts playing, and it starts showing wrestling clips from the game. It shows Redman, it shows Method Man, it starts running through, I guess, like just the Def Jam roster. And then coming April 1st, EA Big. I still remember seeing this.
With that said, I think it's time that we move on and talk about the roster. John, why don't you take us through the roster?
All right, so this game features 46 playable characters, including real-life hip-hop artists signed to Def Jam at the time, as well as some original playable characters that you meet kind of along the way in your story. Christina Milian appears as Angel Rodriguez, a non-playable character. And she kind of is with you throughout most of the story mode. Japanese rappers Dabo and S-Word appear exclusively in the Japanese release. And I hope I didn't butcher those names because we know how I am with Japanese names in the rosters. So the Def Jam label roster features Capone, D-Mob, DMX, Funkmaster Flex, there we go, Lugs, Ghostface Killah, Joe Budden, Keith Murray, Ludacris, Method Man, Nori, Redman, Scarface, and WC. So pretty much all of the popular hip-hop artists from the 2000s.
Oh, yeah. It's a regular who's who of MTV.
And just wait for Fight for New York because this roster just expands.
Oh, yeah. That's when you get like Snoop Dogg.
So the moveset is over 1,500 wrestling moves. As we said before, it's very, very, very similar to No Mercy, down to us running into each other and doing that stare down with like the hip wiggle. How do you describe it?
So great.
It played identical to No Mercy and Revenge and all those. Obviously a few upgrades, obviously a few differences, but everything from the dragon screw to it was all the same.
It was weird playing. I don't know how to say this. It was weird playing a No Mercy style game with a PlayStation controller in my hand.
Yes. Because I was like, what do I do with this L and this R2?
I kept, like, I got the feeling that I wanted to shift my hands to the N64 grip, and I was like, wait, no, that doesn't work on this controller. The buttons aren't right.
The joystick in the middle, but
yeah,
you're actually using the right joystick. There's a few different arenas in this game. We have the Face Club, which is Scarface's New York club, the Sanctuary, which is an old church, the Bridge, which is a bridge by the train yard, the Warehouse, that one's self-explanatory. Grimeyville is Nori's rooftop Queens, New York club, Club Luda, also self-explanatory, that's a Ludacris's strip club. The Dragon House is a Yakuza-owned arena in Chinatown. X's Junkyard is DMX's junkyard, because, you know, ho, ho.
He gonna give it to you.
Def Jam Vendetta is the final tournament arena. Just pretty big, kind of looking cool arena.
Yeah.
And the Bounty Club, which is a club party arena with a DJ and like a dance floor.
I was a big fan of The Bridge. So let's touch on this story mode a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, this was a pretty in-depth story. There was a lot to it.
Yeah, so right off the bat, you have a choice between 4 different fighters. The story doesn't change based on who you pick. It's just your appearance throughout the game. So you have Briggs, who's a dishonorably discharged soldier. Proof, an ex-superbike racer. Tank, a massive Japanese fighter. DJ Spider, who is the game's DJ.
Who appears in the Club Bounty.
Now, once you choose a player, they're called up to help out their friend Manny by taking his place in a street fight.
Manny is also a playable character.
Yes. So once you win a certain number of fights, you go against the rapper Scarface. When you beat him, you get your first girlfriend, Deja. It's a beautiful name, don't you think?
So you just get your first girlfriend?
I mean, is that not how you got your wife? You didn't just win a street fight and then had a girlfriend?
It's like the intro of Rick and Morty when he's just picking a different Morty on the box off the wall.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It's almost exactly like that.
I feel like I've referenced that before, but okay.
It's all right. Topical. Let's talk about Rick and Morty. Other girls throughout the game will come up to the player every couple of street fights, and then eventually you'll have to choose which one should be the street fighter's new girlfriend. Now, eventually, Nori will challenge your fighter to a fight at Grimeyville in Lafrac City, Queens, New York. Before
you
the fight,
visit Lafrac City?
Can't say that I've ever been there, ever. What about you?
No.
Okay. Now, before the fight, your player arrives and almost gets into a fight with D-Mob. Not long after the fight, Manny signs the two of you up for a tag team tournament. Your fighter will eventually be challenged by Ludacris to a street fight in Club Luda.
Imagine that, just walking to a club like, hey, George, you want to sign up for this tag team tournament like Nacho Libre? And then Ludacris is like, I'll fight you.
Are you there? Are you a part of this tournament with me?
Yeah.
I mean, I would do it. I think we could kick some ass.
Can we kick Ludacris's ass, though? He's got those Vin Diesel moves now.
I don't know. I also kind of like Ludacris. So.
Yeah, me too. I was just going to say.
So I don't think I'd want to fight him. So once you beat Ludacris, DMX challenges your player. Then you get challenged by Method Man and Redman. And that's the finale of that tag team tournament. Now, after that, you got to fight DMX once again. And then you receive an email from Angel, your girlfriend, portrayed by Christina Milian, saying that you guys need to talk. And when you arrive to the Face Club, it's revealed that D-Mob has sent House Pockets. House Pockets?
That's too...
That's the name of our band. When we start our band, we're going to be called House Pockets.
You put them in the microwave for 30 seconds and a house appears.
House Pockets.
Oh my god.
House Pockets. Take 2. It's revealed that D-Mob has sent House, Pockets, and Snowman to stop them from coming to them.
Well, now I'm just picturing Hugh Laurie rolling up in a suit with a cane. Like, it's not lupus.
It's never lupus. Oh god, let me try that sentence one more time.
Oh.
So once you arrive at the Face Club, it's revealed that I can't do it.
Okay, when you arrive at the Face Club, it's revealed that D-Mob has sent House, Pockets, and Snowman to stop them from coming to the Def Jam tournament.
Oh, God.
D-Mob then attempts to shoot you, but Manny takes the bullet and survives. What a guy.
You don't know that immediately.
No,
you just see your boy get shot.
Manny's he's just a team player.
But we're leaving out a part of the story here. There's a huge swerve, bro. Manny turns on you briefly and says that D-Mob called in his debt and said that he's got a hit. He hits you from behind with a bat.
Yeah, that was a little heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was not.
Manny, no.
Okay. Okay. That's your reaction to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Manny, no.
Right.
What would your reaction be? I was probably sitting here in 2002 on my beanbag chair like, oh, Manny, we were so close.
You were sitting on your couch a year before the game came out, talking about characters from the game?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, precisely.
Cool.
All right. So eventually your character pulls it off and triumphs over D-Mob and gets back Angel. Just like that. Because, once someone steals her, she's just his property and now you have her back.
Well,
so
because when I move, you move.
Just like that. While you're walking out of the arena, D-Mob is arrested. Leading up to the sequel, Def Jam, Fight for New York.
I gotta say, going through this story mode, it's not the greatest storyline, but it's intriguing. Like you want to keep going. The gameplay is good. The story is okay.
Yeah, it's at least something to work for.
Yeah, this ends, and I was like, okay, kind of. I'm looking forward to when we eventually get to do Fight for New York, and then there's a PSP version, and then there's Icon, and
I was a big Fight for New York fan. I had it for Xbox, the original Xbox, and Crow, who is Snoop Dogg's character, the final boss, and the guy who's basically the D-Mob of that game. He is ruthless. He is brutal, and throw them onto the subway tracks. It's gruesome.
Wow. I was not aware that was that violent of a game. I mean, I knew it was violent because it's a fighting game, but you're pushing people on the train tracks.
I'm a big Snoop Dogg guy, but he's not very nice in Fight for New York.
Huh. Interesting.
I also have to say how we mentioned that this game plays just like No Mercy. I don't remember Fight for New York playing like No Mercy.
So I played Fight for New York, and I agree with you. I think they took the engine from this game and just built on it.
Beefed it up.
But not knowing, I didn't know until we started playing this that this is pretty much a direct descendant for that whole AKI THQ series. Having played Fight for New York, it doesn't feel that way at all.
No.
They tweaked it way too much.
They also strip away the whole arena and ring. And you're just fighting in the streets. You're fighting in crowds, subways, bars, clubs. And like I said last week, you're in kind of a fight circle, just people around you. And rather than hit the ropes, you hit into people and they push you back. You didn't like that last week? I think that was really cool.
I think it's innovative, but I remember being very frustrated with that when I was younger. The first time I played through that game, I remember it drove me crazy. But you never know. It's been years since I've played it, so we'll see if that's changed.
So something else with Vendetta that I feel like a lot of games missed the mark on. They did give you that same No Mercy feel, whereas some games, say a Celebrity Deathmatch, a Simpsons, even Legends of Wrestling, you go in there and you don't know the controls, you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of put it down. You're like, okay, I don't get this. I'm over this. I don't feel like looking at how to do a finisher or how to do a reversal. Most of the people buying this game that are wrestling fans knew how to do everything. And I think that was the best feature.
Yeah, which was weird because, like we touched on before, it felt so familiar, but because of the controller, it also felt so different.
Yeah, and we haven't played this game in 17 years, and we just picked it up like it was nothing today.
Yeah, well, because this engine is like embedded into our DNA at this point.
Yeah, understatement. So, do you want to get into the reception of the game?
I do, but before we get into that, I really do want to go into the reception, believe me. But there's something very important that we need to talk about. We are in the middle of Gameboree 2019. As you are hearing this, we are in the final week. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about Gameboree, John?
Gameboree 2019 is in full effect. We have partnered with two great organizations, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital and Cohen Children's Medical Center, to make sure all children are able to enjoy the holiday season. There are two ways to help out. You could donate to our Amazon wishlist, or you could donate through our PayPal account, and all of the funds are going to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and all of the games donated will go to Cohen Children's Medical Center. So check out GameMarksPod.com/donate to see how you can help today. And so far, we are at $600 donated to St. Jude's, which is absolutely amazing. The last thing unlocked was an autographed WWE action figure. We're going to keep it a mystery. We want people to keep donating. We want to get to the next tier. We unlocked a 6-hour live stream where we're going to donate even more throughout the entire thing. We have games out. I have looking at my Christmas tree right now, and I have the boxes of games underneath the tree. We are going to bring so much joy to the children at Cohen's Medical Center.
I can't wait. It's probably... Actually, no. I will say it is, without a doubt, probably the best thing that I have ever used a public platform to. I've streamed on Twitch, I've done YouTube, you've done them as well. This platform, this podcast is allowing us to reach so much more, so many more people, and do such a great thing for these kids. It's amazing. I can't wait to do this again next year, even bigger and better than we're doing it right now.
And better. So, back to Def Jam Vendetta. Let's get into the reception. Next Generation ranked it as the 82nd highest selling game launched for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, or GameCube between January 2000 and July 2006 in the US. Not bad for what it is.
Yeah, no, that's
Just think
great.
of all the Halos and the Call of Duties and everything that came out in between 2000 and 2006. For this to be 82, it's pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
The Cincinnati Enquirer stated, Electronic Arts deserves kudos for breathing new life into the aging fighting genre with this title's fresh approach. The Village Voice said, if only DMX could sick his pit bulls on you, Funkmaster Flex burst your eardrums IDing himself, or Redman burn you with a blunt. What? So the Village Voice liked the game?
Want more violence?
Entertainment Weekly called it an uninspiring wrestling title that lacks Def Jam's trademark sheen.
Huh.
Okay. I'm going to disagree mostly with that one. This game has Def Jam all over it, from the soundtrack, which isn't just songs you don't know, like new releases on Def Jam Vendetta. This is songs we know, and this is songs we love, and songs you still hear today.
We were humming and singing along to the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say it's an uninspiring wrestling title, they literally took the most popular wrestling game ever created and put their own spin on it with Def Jam characters. So that whole quote just makes zero sense.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that I don't understand. Def Jam as a organization, music, comedy, talent is big. That's why they fit under that EA big umbrella. Everything that Def Jam does is big. It's big comedy, it's big music. So for these wrestlers to be in this game, for these music artists to be portrayed as wrestlers in this game, they're going to be big. To say that it's uninspired, it doesn't make sense. This is probably the most out there, innovative title around this time with people who really aren't even wrestlers.
Right. And like I said before, you look at The Simpsons, Celebrity Deathmatch. There's something cool about seeing, like your question of the week, there's something cool about seeing something that's not wrestling in a wrestling platform.
Yeah.
And
that's
I think
why
out of
Celebrity
all the
Deathmatch
games,
was such a great show and so popular at that time.
But the game blew. Those games all are terrible, but I think this was finally the one that nailed it.
Yeah, but my argument was seeing on television, Marilyn Manson wrestling Mariah Carey, with it all clay and just animated, and it was insane and hilarious and way over the top. Like that's what made that so popular. Yeah, it was a big. I don't think you can get away with doing that today.
No, it's like seeing someone on South Park, Michael Jefferson or a parody of someone. You pop for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ignorant. No, it's ignorant. Stop that.
Okay, so there's quite a bit of ratings here, and there's both GameCube and PS2 ratings that do differ. So bear with me. I'm going to take a sip of water, and we're going to get through these. So, All Game, PS2, 3 out of 5 stars. EGM, PS2, 7.67 out of 10. Again, let's use some decent numbers here, not 7.67.
Too fine of a decimal.
Too specific.
Yeah.
Eurogamer gives the PS2 version a 3 out of 10. Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
Game Informer, 8.75 out of 10 on the GameCube and 8.5 out of 10 on the PS2. See, I tend to agree with Game Informer rather than Eurogamer. Game Revolution, a B- across the board. GamePro gives it a 4.5 out of 5 stars across the board. GameSpot, an 8.4 out of 10 on both platforms. GameSpy, a 3 out of 5 stars on both platforms. GameZone gives it an 8.7 out of 10 on the GameCube and a 9.2 out of 10 on the PS2. IGN gives it an 8.9 out of 10 for both. Nintendo Power obviously only ranked the GameCube, gave it a 3.7 out of 5 stars. OPM gives the PS2 version a 4 out of 5 stars, and the Cincinnati Enquirer gives it a 4 out of 5 stars across the board. Entertainment Weekly, here we go, C+ across the board. See, the way they gave their reception, it seemed like a C+ is too good for that quote.
Yeah. I was expecting like a D or an F.
And our favorite, Metacritic, gives it an 81 out of 100 on the GameCube and an 80 out of 100 on a PS2. So for some reason, Metacritic gave it one more point on the GameCube. We don't know why.
And the world may never know.
Unless you want to go back and find that article, you can let us know. So you want to run through some fast facts about Def Jam Vendetta?
Yeah, let's run through some fast facts.
So by July 2006, the PlayStation 2 version of Def Jam Vendetta had sold 750,000 copies and earned $30 million in the United States.
The combined sales of the Def Jam series reached 1.8 million units sold in the United States by July of 2006.
Damn! Whew. So this game sells on eBay for about $10. However, there is a greatest hits version in the plastic wrapper that just recently sold for $35.
Now the PS2 version of Vendetta and Fight for New York come on a bundle, used like new, and that recently sold on eBay for $90.
This game features 15 licensed music tracks.
And they're all bangers. All of them. Now this game was produced by Josh Holmes, who produced NBA Live 98 to 2000. He also did Turok 2008, Halo Waypoint, Reach, 4, and 5 Guardians.
So those are pretty cool stuff about Def Jam that we didn't realize before. I didn't know this game sold that many units. Damn.
No, that's insane.
Now, we almost made it an entire episode without bringing up 2K20. Do you think WWE 2K20 will reach 1.8 million units sold in the United States?
No. There's some really, really depressing news that came out that we're not going to touch upon because it's not confirmed.
No, but see our tweet ski we put out on Wednesday.
All right, so those are some fast facts, and I think it is time to get into our ratings of Play It Forever or Future Endeavor.
You're fired!
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, you go first this time.
All right. So in a nutshell, I think Jam Vendetta is a solid game inside and out. The storyline, a little cheesy, a little predictable. But all in all, it's a solid game. Nice, pretty wrapper on it. And, there's really not much more that you can say about those controls that we already haven't touched on. It's if you are a fan of the AKI THQ series of games, you're going to love this game. Hands down. And for that reason, I am going to give Def Jam Vendetta my rating of Play It Forever. Woo! All right, John. What about you, man?
All right, so I'm pretty critical of the AKI series. I kind of have mentioned before how it's over-glorified. I kind of will argue with people when they say World Tour is the best game ever. I'll say, no, it's not. You should play it now and kind of see. Take the nostalgia goggles off.
That's why we opened this podcast with that game.
Yeah, that's what we do here on this podcast. We unfog the nostalgia goggles. But, however, coming back and playing this title, which I loved as a kid, I could almost say that I had more fun replaying it than I did back then. I don't know if I appreciate the AKI engine a little bit more. I don't know if it's just like, oh, hey, look, there's WC. Oh, wow, remember how Joe Budden wore that red hoodie, you know?
Yeah. Do you think your experience today playing the game is different because you had someone to play it with? Was this a game that you played with your friends back in the day, or was this a game that you had and you just ran through everything solo?
I think a little bit of both. I don't think that had really anything to do with it. But either way, regardless, I'm saying Play It Forever. Woo! I think no matter what, if this game comes up, if this game is somehow on someone's TV screen, I'm running towards it. If it's sitting in front of me, I'm putting it in. This is a great game. You could see by the ratings how it was received other than 2 or 3 platforms. This is a good game. Play this game if you have not played this game, especially if you love the AKI series.
Highly recommend it.
Probably the highest recommended game we've had so far on this podcast.
I don't know. I feel like Chikara was also really fun, and I want a lot of people to play Chikara too.
True. Very true.
Just because that's new, and there's a lot of possibilities. They just released a patch a couple of weeks ago, and it fixes a couple of weird issues that little peek behind the curtain. I still play that game weekly since we've done that episode. It's great. It's a lot of fun. The creative suite is still getting an unbelievable amount of new additions, and they just keep adding stuff, and I'm really excited. That's a game that we're gonna have to go back and visit, like we said in that episode, when they release more features and stuff. It's the sky's the limit for that game.
So anyway, with our ratings, do we want to get into Clash at the Feast?
Let's do it.
All right, first off, I want to start by saying that we enjoy playing these games competitively every week. And I really like that we put them on YouTube. So if you haven't been able to check those out yet, head on over to YouTube, type in the Game Marks Podcast, and you will see we have quite a bit up there. So if you want to see us kill each other in 2K16, if you want to watch Super Brawl, check it out. This week, we played a few games. We got the hang of it again. And
like riding a bike, or it was like going from a BMX bike to like a mountain bike.
Sure, I guess. But we set the stage. I was WC because I had good luck with him in the previous exhibition, and you were Proof. So,
take us through it. I did it last week. Take us through this match.
Okay. So I feel like once you started getting the hang of blocking in this game, I just couldn't get a strike on you. So I had to resort to the same old grapple back club and some dives and some running moves, but I got you in the game before this. Like I said, an exhibition that didn't count. But this one, you made pretty damn quick work of me. And just like that, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Proof took down the giant WC, leaving the Clash at the Feast score at a whopping 10-5 for your winner, and very much still in the lead, George Feast.
Play my music. Oh man, I gotta tell you though. So we played a little bit of the storyline, and did a couple of exhibitions 1-on-1, and we did a couple of the Fatal 4-Way matches.
Yeah, the free-for-alls.
Those were great. A little chaotic. The camera angle leaves a little bit to be desired for that.
Yeah, you kind of get lost behind the shuffle.
Yeah.
So I pulled, as you saw in, like I said, on YouTube in our 2K16 episode, in the Elimination Chamber, I pulled the same move on you, where as soon as you pinned the guy, I was right on top of you when we were the last two in the ring.
And
so
I suppose I still didn't learn from that.
So I was about to pin Ghostface Killer, but I saw that George had his special, so I released the pin because I knew he was going to go to Ghostface and hit the special. Hit it, pinned, and now I was back on top. I didn't get hit with the finisher.
Immediately hit a bulldog.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I could not do that one-on-one in Clash at the Feast. So
because you
here we are.
All of my focus, so.
We'll never forget what went down at the bridge.
The bridge for life. All right. With that being said, I think it's time we let the people know officially. We've touched on it a little bit in the earlier parts of the episode, but next week is a very special episode because we are playing WCW Backstage Assault with friend of the pod and one of your hosts of Off the Hop Rope, Creator Pro Superstar, 205 Live Superstar, the Abominable CPA, aka Tim Ganj.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask him how to officially say that name. Is it Ganj, Gagne? Let's figure it out.
Yeah, because we don't know.
But when we first thought of WCW Backstage Assault, we immediately thought of CPA, and it just so happened he messaged me one day and said, if you ever cover Backstage Assault, I'm in. So, like I said, storytelling, we got him.
And CPA is a good friend, he's a good brother, so very excited to have him on the pod and hang out with him.
Maybe we'll even crack open some of those off the hop rope beers. You never know.
Right. We never know. That's his element.
Yeah, so we'll drink a little beer. We'll play a little Backstage Assault. Maybe we'll do Tori Wilson versus Billy Kidman or something.
All right. That's going to do it for us this week in the Game Marks podcast. Please do not forget to follow us on social media at Game Marks Pod. Leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts. Let us know what you think of the show, anything you want to change, features. Let us know any questions you want to be asked. And please subscribe to us wherever great podcasts can be found. And one last little thing. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I'm going to float the idea out there again. Let us know what you guys think about the potential of us opening a pro wrestling tee store.
Let us know. We're full of designs.
Now we end the episodes with... Say goodbye, Johnny.
Game over, Marks.